We put on a braiding class at my shop in Corinne one year, and we had a lady that came that was she taught, we call it dental hygienist. And she come to our class, and we were going, you're all hard with your teeth, and you pull them when you couldn't get that. You pull on that. And she said, your teeth are jewels, not tools. So, no, they're tools. I use them to chew meat with their tools.
This is hard because this bench is really short.
When I put this in here, I do not want to come clear to my corner too much because it'll pull. It'll pull that candle, especially on a Cheyenne roll when I bend it, it'll pull it and make it stick out too far forward at the bottom of the crease of this.
Oh, that side has some pull to it. The other side's a little stiffer.
So I'm gonna come back maybe a half inch, or you'll maybe just a little bit more. You'll kind of see where he's put his in there. All right, now I have one thing that you don't have on there yet. I wish that was just a hair pulled down a hair tighter, but we're gonna be okay. I have a center line on here. We're gonna go mark a center line on everybody's. I don't know if we need it right now, but we're gonna need a center line to put our strainer plate anyway. Just to have one here so you can go mark your center holes with them, is what I do or like to. So I would, we'll get one in here soon. Okay, it's marked. There's a center mark right there on my tree. I'm gonna mark it. And it's not that big a deal, even if you don't want to put the center line on, because as long as you have a mark, it doesn't matter if the mark is over here and it's a spot that I have a reference to put it back on to try to keep things straight. So the center is not as big a deal. Yeah. This, or I was showing a tool to Jack here a little bit ago that
I don't think it's going to work on that camera.
Huh?
I don't think that other one will push it in good enough.
Thank you. And so, my trusty old horn, I'm going to pull that right down here into them corners. And a little bit over the top. Now I have got a pretty good fit. Is that other tool over there, Josh? Yeah. These are chiropractors use these. They're scraping tools. You know, they use them when they're trying to bust up bad stuff in your joints and stuff. They're like $9 on Amazon. So I just ordered a new one that's even that much longer. They even had one on there today that I noticed that's 18 inches long that has a curl in it. You could actually rub your seats in with instead of the bigger rub stick. I really like this tool. It works good, and it's good because I can get in here and I can feather off that spot if I've got some tough lines in it, you know.
That tool right there helps you a lot.
This
if you're
tool is
going
so
to
handy.
tool with your cattle, with something like that, because you get a perfect line with that. It gives you that.
Got
perfect line
another
to go
one in
off
the
of.
bag it's called a tickler. Basically, it's just a small version of this and a handle like that. We've got one over here we'll be letting you guys use too.
They both do the same deal.
But that thing is plumb handy. Okay, now, whether I do a Cheyenne roll or a straight up roll, I will kind of do these the same fit on the top side. I'll just bend my straight up roll back over. So I'm gonna take this, and I want to get my hammer here. On a Cheyenne roll, I'm gonna bend this over like that, and I'm gonna make a cut that's a little bit higher than the bottom, and I'm gonna cut it out like this, okay? On a straight up roll, I'm gonna cut it straight out like this because it's not gonna bend back, and I need that. So I'm gonna cut that straight out. And I'll show you, we're gonna do, like I say, we're gonna do another one. But when I start to fit these, I take a ball peen hammer or a shoemaker's hammer if you've got one of them also. And I want to tap this, but I want this to fold so that when I tap this, it's the same height as this. You know what I mean? So I don't want it clear down here. I want it up here to the same height.
And if you take that pencil line that he made and go see how he's folding it just past that pencil line, that'll usually give you that perfect.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to fold it a little bit past, because all of a sudden when I pull that up, and I probably won't have to fit Jack's, he can fit it, but this is basically how I would do a Cheyenne roll. It's the same way, okay? This is how I fit these, and when I fit them, I usually use my really good wooden handled, really nice hammer that I've had for 25 years. And I let Josh use these yellow ones because I hate them, but they got no feel. But you can't find a good one anymore, anywhere.
Are you doing the whole thing?
Yes, because I'm a straight up roll, but I'm just gonna tip it back up. Now this other side down here was really, soft. This rolled over easy. This side's not. It's stiff. You can hear it. You know, that leather's a little bit harder to work with. So it might take me a little bit more. It might take me a little bit more work to get that bend. And if I bend it too far, it's not hard to roll it back up. If I was on a Cheyenne roll, we'd be set, okay? We'd be kind of set to where I wanted it to be. I would take my tickler and I would come in here in the back, because you'll see where you folded it, and I would make me a mark. And see, that's gonna show up right there and give me a pretty good line. This candle would go on really smooth. I got a little gappage here that I don't like, and part of it is because of this tree, the candle does this. And it's really hard, no matter how tight I pull that, it's hard to make that pucker in there far enough. I don't think you're gonna have as much of a problem on those trees because they're a little straighter on the back. But I would just take my tickler, and now I have a line. So if I wanted to tool that, I can come in with something soft. I don't want this to mark things up. So I use them with a pencil in it a lot, and I take one of these that has, that's like this, and I take a hot glue gun and I coat the end of these. And then I'll redo it when it wears off, because I can put that in there and it won't mark nothing. And so I can actually push it against the leather and rub it somewhere, and it doesn't leave me a mark. So I can put it on the one side and then use the mark, the good point, on the other side, you know? And so I do that quite often, just because I don't want to sometimes make a line that's messing things up, okay? So I've got that, and that's kind of what I would do. If I was going to be, like I said, if I was going to cut that out as a Cheyenne roll, I would see where is that above my tree, how far that is going to be above my tree, and I would cut it out like this. Okay, and so you can see it on this side, Gavin, where I marked that. And I may not go quite that high. I would maybe, because you can always cut more later. But if you don't cut enough, you can't. By the time you fit your riggins in there, you fit your jockeys in there, everything goes up under there. You always end up trimming more off anyway.
Yeah.
Just because. So now, if I said I wanted, I usually put from my measurement on my tree when I get this done, I'm gonna probably have a mark that comes around here, pretty close to this edge, where I'm gonna lay my candle binding. And when I do that, I usually put, most of them, they just say, just put me Cheyenne, whatever size you put, because nobody knows. They just guess, you know the deal. I usually mark them about 1.5 inches off of my line and go. I just make 1.5 inches mark. And so if I know I want that, I'm probably gonna go, well, if I want 1.5 inches from there, or maybe 2 inches out here, and I can cut this off like so, just so it's not so much stuff in my road to work with, right?